Hello everyone, so it is Wreck This Journal Wednesday, and I've made a lot of progress on this book this past week, so I'm just gonna jump right on into it and show you guys what I've done. So on the back, I glued the end, and it kept falling off, and I was gonna just tape it back on here, and then I realized it looks a whole lot better without it, so I ended up just leaving it off. So if you notice that that was gone, that was the reason why. This was the Float This Page page. My friend Ashley gave me inspiration for this page. We are both completely obsessed with horror movies, and she told me that since there's this quote in Stephen King's movie It, where Pennywise the clown says, "We all float down here," that will be perfect if I somehow included him into this page. I love that idea, so I ended up doing it. And the front of the page, I just made a blood puddle around the Float This Page, and then I just colored the rest of it blue and outlined the waves a little bit more. And then on the back, I drew Mr. Pennywise the Clown. Whenever I did this page, I was having a really good drawing streak, and I feel like everything turned out exactly how it was supposed to. And I absolutely adore how he turned out. I tried to get every little detail down, and I just feel like it worked out perfectly. Like, it looks awesome. And I just drew some balloons in his hand, because what's a clown, what's Pennywise without some balloons, because he does like to lure children and eat them. So going along with the horror theme, I just put blood splatter all around the corners and the edges and just all over the page. And then I put, "Hey Georgie, want a balloon?" So this is what the back of the page looks like. And I did float this page. I floated it in my bathtub, but I didn't want to leave it in there for too long because I didn't want to ruin my drawing because I loved it that much. But I did float it, and up at the top you can kind of see where the collars ran a little bit, where it was in water. On his face there's like a red smear, but you can't really see it that well on camera. But yeah, there was this page, and I absolutely adore this page. I loved it this past week. And I noticed that most of the pages in my Wreck This Journal so far have to do with horror movie characters. So if you notice that, there's a reason why. It's because I'm completely obsessed with them. This page I was also really proud of. This is this entire page. And I got inspiration from one of my favorite 90s cartoons, which was Rocko's Modern Life. And I was looking up pictures of the cartoon characters, and they looked really easy to draw. This page was also done on the same night that I did the It page, and again, it turned out perfectly. Like, I was not expecting this page to turn out like it did. But on this side, I just put the Rocko's Modern Life logo, and then I drew Rocko, of course, Filbert. This is Spunky, Rocko's dog. And then I just colored it in like a yellow that kind of reminds me of the show and the 90s. And then I just drew little ziggy zags and different designs all over the page. And then on this side I drew Mr. and Mrs. Big Head, and then I drew Rocko's best friend Heifer. On his suspenders, I accidentally kind of messed up, and I colored them red when they were supposed to be purple. I had to go back over them with a purple crayon, but then I just put some ziggy zags on this page as well. And I colored the entire page, and I am absolutely in love with it. I love this page to death. And if you've seen my best friend's last Wreck This Journal video, she made a Nicktoons page where she put Rocko. And I just want to make it clear that I was not trying to copy my best friend at all. Like, I loved her idea, but I just came up with this out of the blue and really wasn't thinking, so I was not trying to copy her. But I adore this page and how it turned out. I think that Spunky would have to be my favorite. So this was the tie a string to the spine of this book, swing wildly, and let it hit the walls. I went to Michael's to get some string specifically for this page, and I got this pretty purplish pink, like red violet e-collar kind of string. And I just tied it around my book twice, and I didn't do it exactly on the page where it says to do this because in that little area it's like a little thin part of the book, and I was terrified that it was gonna like rip my book completely in half. So I ended up just tying it to like a thicker area in the book so that wouldn't happen. But I recorded me doing this, so you will be seeing this in a video. I think I said that about the float this page. I don't know, but I did that with the float this page too, so you're going to be seeing both of those in another video. Like the string gives the journal a more wrecked look, and I love it. So then on the tie a string to the spine of this book page, I got inspiration from other people's pictures on Google where they had put the Wreck This Journal and then a chain coming from it and try to make it look like, you know, Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball music video. And I absolutely loved that idea. Wrecking Ball, Wreck This Journal, it just goes so good together. And I didn't want to steal their idea, so I was trying to think of how I can make this page original and still do that. And my mom was like, why don't you put a cat on a wrecking ball? And this is what it looks like. But I just cut a cat from a picture in a magazine and drew a wrecking ball. Glued him on there and then just drew a, supposed to be a sledgehammer, and glued it to his paws like he was holding it. And then I came in like a wrecking ball. And I sent this page to Tiffany and she was like, this is one of my favorite pages out of your book so far, so that made me happy. I feel like it's perfect. And then on this side, I just colored the letters and drew some bricks. And those are supposed to be bricks. They look like just messed up squares, but yeah. And then I put, all you ever did was wreck me. Again, I think it's perfect. Wrecking Ball, Wreck This Journal, it's just perfect. But that's what this page looks like, and I freaking love it. So, I did this page not too long ago. This was the Rub Here with Dirt page. And if you have been watching my Wreck This Journal series, then you saw in that video where I drew a desert. And I said that I was actually thinking of a zombie coming up out of its grave. Like, I thought of that idea like right after I did the desert. And I didn't care too much for the desert. So I went ahead and drew my zombie coming up out of its grave on another piece of paper, and I glued it over top of the desert. It's not the best, but I like it a whole lot better than the desert, and zombies are more up my alley than a desert is. So, that's what he looks like. I kind of made it look like his brain was coming out of his head, and then blood was just, yeah. Doesn't look the best, but I tried. And I might actually go back in with this whenever it gets a little bit warmer outside and add a little bit more dirt to it so there's no more white spots of the pages showing. So then this was the glue a random page from a newspaper here page. I didn't want to just take a page out of a newspaper and tape it in here, so I went straight for the comics, which I'm sure a lot of people have done with this page, and just took the funniest ones that I seen in there and glued them in here. This one was my favorite. This one's Garfield, and it says, I'm going to go on a diet, and then it shows him eating all this food, and then it says a really lousy one, which I felt like that was like so me, so I had to put that in here. And then this one says, sell men's pants, small, medium, fast food. I thought that was funny. And then over here it says, it's got a goat, a squirrel, a turtle, and a raccoon, which I thought the goat was a camel at first. I don't know why, until I read it. And it says, it's nice to meet you, Doris. We've never met a screaming goat before. And then the goat shrieks. And then they say, and now we know why. That scream could wake the... And then it says, what the... a bunch of stars was that. And then it has zombies. And I felt like that was perfect for my journal. I had to include that one in here. But yeah, I thought that goat was a camel. So, don't laugh at me. There's this guy, and it says junk, junk, more junk. And then it shows where he threw all his paper wads onto his cat's head. And it says a little bit to the left. I thought that was perfect because it was a cat. Then this one's just old ladies feeding pigeons, and this old guy's feeding snakes, and then this old lady over here is feeding, yeah. And then I just colored the rest of the page where it didn't have a piece of newspaper because I don't want it to be plain. My mom actually had to steal a newspaper because I never read the newspaper. None of my family reads the newspaper, so she had to steal a newspaper, but I think they threw it away, so it wasn't really stealing. And this was the collect the stamps off of all your mail page, and I got like 3 more stamps and just glued them in here. And I don't know why I have like the worst luck when it comes to stamps, but I get all of the same ones. So there's like 4 of the same stamp, which is like an American flag and fireworks, but it works. It adds some stamps to it. Okay, this was the make a mess, clean it up page. Trying to figure out a way of how I could include Freddy Krueger somewhere into my Wreck This Journal, because Freddy is my favorite, and I had already had all the other horror characters in here. I have Jason, I have It, I have Michael Myers, and I was like, like I was sitting there trying to think of like the perfect way I could include Freddy in here. And so I decided that I was just going to draw him as his self, Freddy, and just put like blood everywhere around him. And then on the page beside it, since this was the make a mess, clean it up page, I decided I was going to draw Freddy in a suit holding flowers on Elm Street. I think it looks a little silly, but it's cute and I like it. And so this is the angry Freddy as himself. And I feel like his burns kind of look more like boils on the side of his face. But I tried. And what's Freddy without his, like, burnt face? So I went for it. And then I just put blood splatter all over the corners and the edges and just all over the page. And on this side, I love this. It's so cute and it looks funny. I drew Freddy in a suit. And he has a smile on his face. And I drew flowers in his claw hand. And then he's standing on Elm Street, and it's a sunny, pretty day. So I took the mess and I cleaned it up. And now Freddy's a part of my Wreck This Journal. So I almost have every single horror character included into this book, and I didn't even mean to do that. It's just like I'm obsessed and I can't really help it. The last page was the Collect Dead Bugs Here page. And if you know me at all, like, I love scary things. Bugs is one thing that I cannot do. Like, it's just the looks of them that freak me out. I just don't like being anywhere near bugs. I don't care what kind of bugs they are. Like, most people are afraid of just spiders, but I'm afraid of every single bug that's out there. And I was like, I just cannot include dead bugs into my book after I've worked this hard on it. But a nasty, smelly, old, creepy looking bug in here, that's just not, I'm not gonna do that. I went out and looked for some cute little bug stickers to put in here to make up for the dead bugs. And I got these stickers from Michaels. And they are like these cool little 3D bug stickers, so they kind of pop out. They look really cool. But I just marked out the dead and put sticker because I'm not going to put dead bugs in here, no. But they're just like these beetles. And then these were like little Halloween, like velvety stickers that I had. So I had to put them in there because they're cute. I just took some construction paper and made a bumblebee and a dragonfly or firefly, whatever you call them, and a butterfly. and also a caterpillar, and just included them in here. But I like it. I prefer sticker bugs over dead ones. So that was all the progress that I made on my Wreck This Journal this past week. I feel like I did a lot of pages this week that I was absolutely in love with. Like, I loved all of the pages that I did this week. Yeah, I will see you guys next time.